Alright, here we go. Welcome back to Noble Reincarnation, Anime Review, Episode 4. With these two particular episodes, I am completely caught up with the series. Yep, completely caught up. And officially, this is joining my Sunday review schedule. I mean, it's only one anime plus two toku shows, and plus, it's not going to be here very long. So, there's that. So, in these two episodes, mostly put, this is kind of what happens. So, Zoe, I should point out, though, she's been kind of removed as, well, the person who accompanies Noah around. It's basically Shirley's turn because she's a new character. Excuse me. This is not the anime's fault for that. That's actually the fault of the original source material for that. And in a way, technically, Shirley being his knight and kind of following him around, that's technically her job. So, even though it's not explained on the episode, but that is, like I said, it's not the anime's fault for this. It's the fault of the source material. It's one of those things where I'm sure some people will probably question of why this was changed. Like, oh, was this like this in source material? Yeah, it was. So, throughout these two episodes, we still have a series of stuff that happens over the course of these two episodes. Mostly put basically where we had discovered there was a plot, yes, a plot, to coerce the Emperor to secede from the throne, and the plot was found very quickly, and they found the headquarters of these people very quickly, and all they wanted to do was put the Crown Prince on the throne. And the Crown Prince himself might be involved, but there's no evidence to support the fact he is. But, yeah, basically the info they got was completely correct. I'm like, that was easy. There's also stuff in here where, of course, basically, where I think it was like those people were captured. They decide basically how to be executed. Like the leader, obviously, is going to have his lower half chopped off. He's going to die, and has to be executed until possibly late. And then, of course, then the Emperor takes Noah to the treasure vault, where he's like, pick anything you want here. And thanks to Leviathan, we pick another ring. Yes, a ring. Which he basically becomes instantly bonded to, and it's a fire-based ring. It includes also his power skill. And basically has a night version of the two of them fight each other for about a small portion of the episode. And we see Zoe's back. Yep, she's back. Yeah, this is the first time she's been active for a couple episodes now. And he goes up to like level 3 here. His brother Henry shows up, still in charge, basically his ministry. Also, then we also have where his mansion is attacked by these mysterious intruders, which are implied to be the men who work for the Crown Prince. And to put a comfort story out there, they actually succeed in wounding him. He basically has Leviathan wound his side, which he heals up, and of course, basically, then later on, he comes up with an ingenious idea. Now, they do a slight wording change here from the actual manga. Basically, they refer to them as the Minister Prince. And that's what they refer to in anime. In the manga, it's basically just Minister. This is basically Chief Minister. It's not the Prime Minister, that's a completely different position. Basically, the purpose of this, of course, they cut away to a desk in the actual manga itself. So, what they propose here is basically a position known as Chief Minister Prince. Basically, this is where the three princes, basically himself, Henry, and Oscar, report to, but he doesn't have absolute power. And of course, he kind of suggests basically Albert take this position. Because, why not? Not Gilbert. Oh, not Gilbert. So, basically, if there's anything that the ministers don't like, they can appeal to the Emperor, who has a final say-so in the matter. And the Emperor's like, I like that idea. So he greenlights it. No problem. So in a way, he mentions, kind of in a way, technically, the Crown Prince has no power under this title. None. He can tell him to do stuff, but he can't do anything about it. Because he can easily be overwritten by the Emperor himself. Very interesting here. And of course, basically, one thing is like show us a little prowess. So, and then we also have where you go visit basically the shop where he got his first ring from. It's like, I'm going to give you some money. In exchange, I want you to find me more objects, basically, that are sentient. He's like, sure, no problem. And then right after this, we meet this man who apparently is a servant of the first Prince's house, and this seems very similar to an earlier episode. We have a guy who claims to work for the Crown Prince, but in actuality, he disowned him. Kind of. So, and it's like, despite the fact what he did, you can't legally arrest him. But then, of course, basically finds a loophole in his logic. He has committed a crime. Not bowing to the prince. Which the punishment is being tied to a post and being whipped. Yes, this happened in manga too. Though they didn't mention the time of the post thing, but apparently no one liked him, so he's like, hey, we got a whip. And of course the guy's like, I have a whip right here. And then Shirley proceeds to whip the man to death. Yes. How many lashes he got? Don't know. I'm presuming he may have got a lot, given the fact he died. They filed a report with the police department. Technically, what Noah did is technically not illegal, what he did. Technically, basically the whole thing of the Minister of Justice is that he has to oversee a bunch of courts. We also get used to his vice here in these episodes, where his job is basically just to support him and basically take over things that he can do all the time. And Noah figures out right away he's been taking bribes, but not murder case ones. He's like, he'll draw a line on that because basically some murders need to be put away. So, okay, he kind of accepts his logic for it, but he's like, okay, I'll create you, but then turn out something, but he promised not taking more bribes. Could have been basically them doing that. And by the way, he was actually there when they were arresting insurgents. Some insurgents were captured by Noah himself by using his water thing to basically stop them from committing suicide. I'm guessing what the whole suicide thing is that each of these assassins must have cyanide in their teeth. It's an old school spy technique where spies have cyanide capsules inside of a tooth they can easily break by simply just doing that and just immediately die on the spot. It's not like in the case of one particular series I've seen where in order to get someone from talking, the guy swallows his tongue, which is disgusting. And I'm glad they didn't show it. And I'm glad Noah the fact is smart about this, because I'm sure I'm guessing the reason why he's able to know about the cyanide stuff, they don't say cyanide, but clearly that's basically what he's worried about. I'm guessing that he must be reincarnated from the real world. They don't say all we know he's a reincarnation of somebody, but clearly he knew about he said this really quickly from the moment he was born until basically he got a little bit older when he was in the White Prince. So my guess, he must have 6 years of really good education to basically just learn about all the current law, which of course he does quote a lot in the series. I could explain the reason for it. They don't say he's done that. I'm theorizing he has probably read through the entire law for the country. Yes. So then he proceeds to have Shirley put handcuffs on him to apologize to his eldest brother, Gilbert, over this, and he goes visit his mansion. And the guard's like, oh, hello, 13 Prince. And he's like, I'm here to see my brother to apologize to him. And then we see a man came on named Colt, who is actually the guy's butler. Shirley does ask who he is, which could have basically Noah for answering the question, because she doesn't necessarily know every single person per se. So asking Noah who these people are, not a bad choice for that to happen, because the thing is, she's only serving him. She doesn't know everybody's name per se. She knows people who work for Noah. She knows people who doesn't work for him. So basically, he does apologize to Gilbert. It's like, thank you for taking my reputation, despite the fact he has very little reputation. And it's implied Gilbert is a freaking scumbag, but he apologized to him and he accepts it. He kind of forgets the fact he did work for him, but I do remember. I remember now. I fired him for misconduct. Okay. Oh, I guess you can say he is kind of like being like Lex Luthor, in a way. he's not exactly twirling his beard. It's like, oh yeah, I fired him. Like, yeah. Oh, he went rogue. But you could think with the scene here, this is where Noah is basically being Superman in kind of a way, and Gilbert's being Lex Luthor here. But it's kind of like that, but not really. It's not because of the costume thing or the fact that he's basically just floating in the air like he is Superman. I think in the case of the fact that Noah knows he has no evidence to basically support the fact that his brother's behind this. It's just a guy who works for him, and he's basically apologizing for conduct. Now, yes, it's something Superman would do with Lex Luthor in the animated series. If you didn't do this in comics, he did not really do that in the comics, from what I remember. It's been a bit since I read the early comics, but basically the post-Crisis Universe stuff. But very good scene here, and then the cups are removed, Noah leaves, and that's it. And that's pretty much the most recent episode. It aired just 2 days ago. So by the time I start watching this, the previous episode said was the most recent episode that just aired. Now I'm completely caught up with the whole thing. Yep, completely caught up. And with this caught up, so what is the next anime? I'm probably going to go through about a couple episodes of it tonight. Probably go a little bit more tomorrow. It's an anime involving Oni. I have been very curious for this one, especially since one of the characters become a new waifu. Yes. I will talk about this series next. Well, after, of course, do a comic corner. There's a comic corner I really want to do. So, comic corner next, and then basically it's on to that Oni anime. Okay? See you. Please subscribe to notifications. Bye.